What's up, YouTubers and DIYers? Kim is back at it again in the garage cooking up another DIY for you. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a custom bolt-on exhaust extension kit for your generator to help ventilate exhaust fume from your home's garage or RV camper that will not void your generator's manufacturer warranty. Stay tuned. Alright guys, so I recently purchased a Harbor Freight generator for a scheduled power outage that was going to take place overnight. I needed to have reliable backup power to keep my refrigerated goods from spoiling. I chose this inverter after hearing great reviews on how quiet it operated while delivering all of my power needs. Since my home doesn't have a backyard and only an attached garage, I needed to run my generator within my garage overnight without exposing my family to deadly exhaust fumes. This meant I needed to find a way to ventilate the exhaust system out some pre-existing vents within my garage. After removing the rear cover and exposing the exhaust system, I needed to find a way to make a custom flange with flexible tubing to bolt into the pre-existing holes and cover the existing exhaust pipe while still keeping an airtight seal that will withstand the high constant temperature heat from the hot passing gases and exhaust fumes. Now before I begin, don't forget to subscribe and click that bell icon to receive my latest DIY project video. And for your convenience, I have placed Amazon affiliate links in the descriptions below to all the parts needed to complete this DIY project. Most if not all of these products can also be found on the shelves of your local automotive and home goods stores. I wanted to keep this project simple. No fancy hardware required, cheap accessible materials found at any of your local stores, and most importantly, no welding required. And after careful consideration, this is what I came up with. What you see here is all the products you're going to need to create your own custom bolt-on exhaust system. Some Permatex 650 degrees high temperature red RTV silicone, a 1.5 inch diameter flexible exhaust repair kit, a 1 inch round floor flange, a 1 inch by 3 inch nipple, a 1 inch by 3/4 inch coupling reducer, and two M5.08 by 30 millimeter socket head cap screw to extend our mounting bolt lengths. Total cost for this DIY project is just under $55. I first began creating my custom bolt-on flange. The flange is the key to making the whole removable system work, and is extremely important that we get the pre-existing piping close to dead center as much as possible, as to avoid our new extension tubing coming in contact with the plastic shroud covering, which could potentially cause melting. I started out by tracing the mounting hole locations using the manufacturer supplied exhaust arrestor bracket that came with the generator unit. This gave me a general idea of where I needed to drill my new mounting hole locations, as the ones provided with the floor flange came nowhere close to what I needed. From here I sketched out a pattern on the floor flange surface using a Sharpie marker, and a vision of how I wanted my shape to look. As you can see, I chose a more traditional style flange, but yours can look however you choose it to be, as long as you have enough material left over for the mounting holes, and a good amount of contact surface with the exhaust muffler for a proper seal between the two. Taking my flange to the vise, I went to work cutting and shaping away at the galvanized steel material, using my grinder and a cutoff wheel. I took my time shaping the flange until my desired shape was achieved. The grinder makes real easy work of cutting through this material, and at most, it probably only took me about 30 minutes to achieve my final result. My suggestion to you here is, take your time and let the grinder do all the work, and when cutting through the material, cut in straight lines as to avoid causing any type of binding between the cutoff wheel and the material, which could result in a kickback or worse, breaking of the grinder wheel. And as always, be sure to wear your protective eyewear. There's a lot of small metal fragments flying through the air, and a few of them did actually hit me in the forehead. When it was all said and done, here's what my final product looked like. Not a bad looking piece for just 30 minutes of my time, if I must say so myself. After drilling out my new mounting hole screw locations, I took my Dremel tool and a pointed stone bit and added bevel edges to the screw hole locations to give me extra wiggle room for fine adjustments. One key note about drilling through this material: take your time and let the drill do all the work, don't force it. Also, be sure to use some type of cutting lubrication and the proper drill bits for drilling through galvanized steel. This material is a bit tough to drill through and will dull your standard drill bits with the quickness if not careful. Moving on to the next part of the project, I laid down some painter's tape on the exhaust muffler to act as a release film for the RTV silicone, which we're going to add in a bit. Since the surface of the muffler is not completely flat, we need to create a mold within our sealing gasket of the rises and valleys to achieve a tight mating seal. Taking a Sharpie marker, I traced the flange pattern onto the painter's tape so I knew my boundaries of where to apply my silicone. I also cut away the tape for the screw hole locations so that I could bolt everything down during the final set cure time. One very important note about flipping your generator on its back in order to perform this portion of the build: be sure to drain the engine oil completely before doing so, or you will have engine oil all over the place. Using the RTV silicone, I applied a plentiful amount within my traced pattern. I wasn't really too concerned about excess waste spewing out the sides or inside the mounting screw hole locations, as it can easily be cut away with a razor blade during my final cleanup. When it came time to adding silicone to the pre-existing exhaust pipe sticking out, I made sure to only go as high as the middle point of that tube. I allowed the silicone to cure according to the manufacturer's directions before tightening up the flange bolts. And once the bolts were tightened down, I let it cure for a full 24 hours. Again, according to the manufacturer's instructions. If you happen to get more silicone in the middle threaded area than originally expected, not to worry, just use a paper towel to wipe some of it away. For the extra silicone around the flange, I took my finger and smoothed it out flat, and made sure it pressed tightly against the side walls of the flange. This is going to give you a tighter seal around the metal housing, keeping in those exhaust gases, should they happen to escape the threaded area. Once the silicone was cured, I removed the mounting bolts, peeled the flange free, and removed the painter's tape and set the flange back in place. Looking down the barrel and screw holes, you can see that we now have a tight seal in all three locations and no chances of any exhaust fumes escaping once the flange is secured in place. I took the flange back to the table and began cutting away the excess flashing to give it more of a professional look and feel. If there are areas on your flange that are not covered by the RTV silicone or happen to break away during cleanup, feel free to apply an additional amount covering those areas, and with your finger smoothing it out. Remember, the key is to have an airtight seal once the flange is mounted to the muffler surface. Now that we are finished with our flange, it's time to move on to creating our new exhaust pipe. Using the RTV silicone, I applied a plentiful amount to the smaller side of the coupling reducer. This is where we are going to attach our flex tubing, and again where we need to prevent exhaust gases from escaping. After applying my silicone, I took a paper towel and smoothed out the silicone to a nice, flush, even surface. It's important to note that you must have a smooth, thin surface, as later we'll be attaching our hose clamp bracketry over this area to ensure it can never break free. Once I was done with the exhaust piping, I moved on to trimming our new M5 mounting bolts to length. With the additional thickness of the flange, we need a little more length to ensure a good bite when torquing down. And that's it, we're done. Time to assemble and try everything out. Alright guys, that brings this video to an end. I hope you enjoyed this DIY project video, and if you found this video informative, please hit that like button and or leave me a comment below. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe. I plan on creating a man cave series where I begin building my own custom dream garage from the bottom up, and I would really like it if you would join me on that venture. I'm the Chemist, and I'll see you next problem.